In the first video, we explored some of the great opportunities for businesses during the RAF Lincolnshire 100-year celebrations. We will now explore one area in which you can not only support the activity, but enhance it too, and that is the topic of theming. Theming is the idea that by dressing your business physically and in your marketing, you can be in better sync with the events and activities run by partners across Lincolnshire. In addition to any events or activities you might run yourself, of course. Throughout the calendar year, businesses regularly support seasons and national holidays, at times to appear relevant, but also other times just to join in. The commercial calendar is packed with such events. New Year, Valentine's, the Chinese New Year, Mother's Day, Easter, Father's Day, Back to School, Halloween, Diwali, Black Friday, and Christmas, of course. Many businesses do not sell products and services that relate to many of them. Think of Easter. Only a handful of businesses sell Easter-related products or services. But they can still dress their business with Easter decorations and seasonal best wishes to all their customers. Now, I'm of the opinion that when businesses work together and celebrate an event in harmony, not only do they put themselves on the map for visitors, but they actually enhance and broaden the appeal of the events, making it bigger and making that event better. Let me share an example with you. I was recently asked to work with Putney businesses just west of London city centre. Putney Embankment is the home to the Cancer Research Oxford-Cambridge boat race, which starts by Putney Bridge at the end of March, early April each year. It attracts large numbers of visitors, approximately 250,000. Now, Putney High Street is a stone's throw away, just across the bridge and within easy reach of those that come to see the start of the race. But the vast majority of visitors simply head off home or into Fulham, Chelsea or central London once the last race has finished. What might make visitors cross that bridge and take a walk into Putney Town Centre? Well, until recently, visitors would see very little happening there at all. No indication that the town centre was celebrating the event with them. There was no bunting, no music, no activities or no entertainment. Had there been a festival of activities that kicked off immediately after the races, a master of ceremonies on the PA announcing the up-and-coming performances, music playing, a hustle, a bustle if you like, around the town centre, then visitors might have said to themselves, "Oh, what's going on there? Shall we take a look?" Now, this is exactly what we set out to deliver in Putney Town Centre. So by adopting a similar approach for yourselves, dressing our businesses and celebrating RAF Lincolnshire, we can not only amplify the planned activity, but we can enhance them too. Now, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that some visitors will be completely oblivious to all the RAF Lincolnshire activities that are taking place. You can imagine somebody coming up to you and asking, "What's all this about?" in response to you dressing or theming your business. Now, that would be a great opportunity to point them in the direction of Visit Lincoln's website and some of that great activity that's happening throughout the county throughout the year. What type of theming might add to the excitement and the interest and draw attention to your business? Well, this is only limited by your imagination. But to get you started, here's 5 distinct approaches that you might want to explore. Number 1, the biggest category of all for theming, the Royal Air Force itself or RAF Lincolnshire. Now, there are so many opportunities here. Aircraft names, names of hangars, military ranks, RAF bases, famous RAF personnel. A quick search online and you will find comprehensive lists of all of them. So how might you use these names? Well, you could use them to rebrand. Not all of your business, maybe rebrand your function room for the year, or a ride at your attraction. Perhaps you could use it to name one of your beers. It could be a table name in a cafe or a restaurant, or it could be a bedroom or a suite in a hotel. It might be what you called your event. It could be a limited edition cocktail, a special dish or a course on your menu that just ran for the duration of 2018. Imagine that you were staying at a hotel for an RAF Lincolnshire event. Wouldn't it be a thrill to stay in the Spitfire suite, or the Red Arrows, or the Nighthawk room? You can imagine an enthusiast about the RAF and RAF Lincolnshire to be sat there drinking their Typhoon cocktail or eating a fairy swordfish. Wouldn't it be great to attend an RAF Lincolnshire event or a dinner dance in the Harrier suite? Ferry Ale Brewery, based in Fiskerton, have already created and are selling a Bastion beer, which uses ingredients from a recipe they found dating all the way back to World War I. They have already worked with Aviation Lincolnshire and got approval on the name. You'll also be able to see the Bastion inspired cheese here too, with the logo on it, created by Lim Bank Cheese. The Crafty Bottle, another Lincolnshire-based brewery company, have adopted our RAF Lincolnshire branding on their centenary ale. Now you might consider a low-cost refurbishment of a space too. Murals or large vinyls are more affordable to have printed than ever before. These can dramatically change a space at relatively low cost and relatively quickly. A striking image of red arrows in formation could remodel a feature wall in a cafe or a restaurant. A stirring photograph of a Spitfire or Vulcan could transform a hotel bedroom. You'll find some great images on royalty-free photography sites for a very modest fee. You can also find some under Creative Commons license, which means they'll be free of copyright and free for you to use. You'll need to search online for Creative Commons. If you are a Visit Lincoln partner, look at what images they already have that they can share with you. Clearly, there are lots of creative things you can do with the RAF Target logo: coffee sprinkler stencils, how your food is presented, light gobos and murals. But you need to be aware of something, however. The RAF and its brands are copyrighted. You can find out what is and is not permitted by visiting the following link: www.gov.uk/government/publications/MOD copyright licensing information. Be sure to check before you start painting a big RAF target all over your building, as you may get yourself into trouble. Now, what is available for you to use is the RAF Lincolnshire branding that was commissioned by Lincoln Big and Visit Lincoln. You can download the assets and the files at www.visitlincoln.com/toolkit. It includes many file formats, including EPS files, which can be enlarged to the size of your entire property if you wish, without them breaking up or distorting. This is ideal if you wish to have a large banner created with the RAF Lincolnshire branding outside your property, for example. Now, music is a great way to add theatre. George Lucas of Star Wars fame is quoted as saying the sound and the music are 50% of the entertainment in a movie. Well, music and sound effects in your business linking you to RAF Lincolnshire events could generate 50% of your entertainment too. Having music perhaps playing from one of the many superb Royal Air Force bands is a simple and effective way to add to the atmosphere and enhance some of your visual theming. 2018 could be the perfect time to show your appreciation not only to the fabulous RAF, but the armed forces and emergency services maybe. You might offer exclusive products or services to them. free items or add-ons or discounts to our service personnel and emergency services throughout all of 2018. Our second suggested theme is red, white and blue. Yes, from the tricoloured flag and the flags of 29 other countries across the world. Red, white and blue is seen by many as a signal of patriotism and celebration in the UK. Dressing to the red, white and blue theme might include red, white and blue bunting outside your business and flags. Bunting flapping in the wind catches the eye and tells visitors something is happening here. It also creates quite a bit of noise as well. They are synonymous with carnivals and street parties, things that often stir very positive emotions in people. Flags are a very good investment in 2018. With the RAF Lincolnshire, a royal wedding and England in the World Cup, you'll get plenty of use out of a flagpole kit this year, that's for sure. The red, white and blue theme can extend across many areas of your business. Your social media profile and social media content, email communications, balloons, product selections, product names, staff uniforms, table dressings with napkins and serviettes. Even the presentation of food and drinks can carry your red, white and theme through it. You might also like to play an album, Red, White and Blues, the best of white stripes. Granted, this is not to everybody's taste. Now, if you're thinking of putting things outside your business, the government has a useful free guide on what is and is not permitted in terms of outside advertising, and this includes banners, flags and bunting. You might like to check in with your local council too, as you may well be in a conservation area that has its own rules and restrictions. You can view the document at the snappy web address www.gov.uk/government/publications/outdoor advertisement and signs, a guide for advertising, or you could simply type outdoor advertising rules into your favourite search engine. Theme number 3 is 100 years. Yes, as we celebrate and commemorate the last 100 years of the RAF, we can also theme around the number 100. This might be 100 days of promotion. It might be that your 100th customer wins something very special. It might be 100 feature products or services. It might be 10 weeks of 0% finance. That's a little bit more cryptic. It could be £100 off or 100% off. Now that's a deal. Otherwise known as free, of course. It might be that you reference 100 with a giant 100 balloon or a 100 coffee sprinkler stencil over your cappuccinos. A great example of the 100 theme in action is the 100 Voices Trail. Created by Lincoln Big and Visit Lincoln, this is a new trail across the city of Lincoln and surrounding countryside. You can find out a bit more about that on this very website, visitlincoln.com. Theme number 4 is winding the clock back to 1918, when the RAF was originally formed. You might have a flyer or promotional marketing that was in the style of a 1918 newspaper. Could you roll back your prices of a particular item or service to the 1918 equivalent? This can be more fun and engaging than simply offering something for free or as an add-on. Sleaford Museum has a great vinyl on one of their windows which outlines what the adjacent town centre would have looked like in years gone by. The vinyl acts as a stencil overlay to the existing view of the town through the glass. Perhaps you could take this approach, winding back the view from 100 years ago from your business. You might present your social media and digital marketing as if it was invented 100 years ago. The introduction of popular menu items from 1918 can be good fun, and it's perfect if you're a big fan of lentils. A search online for 1918 menus or recipes will give you lots of ideas here. Photography from the era is very striking, black and white or sepia, and we explored some of this with aircraft imagery earlier, but you could have large format printing done of life in 1918, printed or added to the walls of your business. You could play an old gramophone. If it's not working, you could simulate this with a small speaker behind it and then tune into popular hits from 1918. Now here's an interesting twist. What about going 100 years in the future to 2118? What might your business look like? But this doesn't mean you can charge 2118 prices. Can you imagine that? Yes, madam, that would be £54.66 for your cappuccino. You might want to take inspiration from Charles Dickens and the Christmas Carol. You could explore a theme that was 100 years ago, today, and 100 years in the future. Okay, time travellers, well, that's the 1918 theme. Our fifth and final theme is World War I and World War II. Now this theme acknowledges the enormous role that the RAF played in both World Wars, in addition to the centenary of Armistice, 100 years since the World War I ceasefire, and that's due to take place this November. Whilst no business would want to trivialise either World War, theming can draw attention to them whilst being fun and entertaining. The Blitz Tea Room in Kerching is a fabulous example of this. It's a wonderful venue and a great experience, particularly when the air raid sirens go off halfway through your meal. And yes, you do need to take cover. They regularly run theme nights and jazz music evenings, all of which are hugely popular. Recreating an air raid is not so difficult. The sound effect is readily available online and can be officially purchased from the likes of iTunes, Amazon, or stream services such as Spotify. To recreate a searchlight suitable for inside, and that's assuming you don't want to manually move a light around, which is an option of course, you could use a low-cost disco light. These are called scanners. The most affordable ones would be an LED mirror scanner. They start from around £50 to £60 upwards. You can set the light to white and then let them scan by themselves. You would probably need two for a larger room operating in sync. A little bit of smoke or mist, just enough to help create a beam of light from the scanners, would cost you around £30. So you can see for £100 to £150 you can get a really strong effect that could be the centerpiece of your event, your sitting or your afternoon dinner. Other sound effects that you might want to explore are also available online. These include the blitz or a bombing, voiceovers from cockpits, or iconic speeches from the likes of Sir Winston Churchill. If the British Empire and its Commonwealth last for 1,000 years, men will still say, this was our finest hour. Okay, what else can we do? Well, you may introduce ration books as a loyalty card, or as a voucher, or a receipt holder. In terms of music, there is so much music that we associate with World War I and World War II, from the music halls of World War I to the big bands of World War II. You could, of course, choose some of the classic World War film themes, or The Last Night of the Proms. Dinner dances and jazz bands or big bands are still very, very popular in the UK. Costumes, which you can use as uniforms for the staff, are readily available from dress hire shops. Okay, well, hopefully some of that is food for thought. As I said at the beginning, theming is only limited by your own imagination and creativity. Having a chat with colleagues, friends or family over a coffee or a glass of wine is sure to tease out some brilliant and no doubt wacky ideas. If budgets and time is tight, we'll simply invest in some bunting and flags and play some relevant music. You'll create an impression for sure.